Real estate, family business, and building a legacy. It's a journey I'm navigating every day.
Both as a managing director and as a father. From making big decisions to adapting to Gen Z, industry trends, and smart investments, it's all about growth, ethics, and evolving together. Of course, there's a little fun along the way with my daughter as well.
I'm seeing it with ChildCentric, right? We're seeing thriving communities. And also, when you think about it, people are moving more and more into nuclear families.
Right.
But in some ways, it takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah.
So when you think about those dynamics, you think about India in its truest form of community, and India in its truest form of what our value systems are as a and our culture is as a country. It's much more about togetherness.
Right.
Sure. Festivals, everything, right? It's all about togetherness. We're not an individual and an individualist culture.
Right.
So I do think that service, community building, all those aspects are going to take a much bigger role into the industry as we go forward. Because also, how much more can you do on the product? Like, how much can you keep doing on the product, right?
True. So, tell me this. So, we created child-centric homes as a concept.
Yeah.
It was focused on the young, aspirational Indian family, and customers enjoyed it and liked it. And then, when you stepped in, you took over the role of leading child-centric. What were some of the opportunities you saw, challenges that you saw, and where do you see that going forward?
I'll take challenges first on that one.
Okay.
I think the biggest challenge was children have a lot going on. And the families in general have a lot going on.
Okay.
Right? So when you're trying to deliver child-centric in the home environment, you're organizing, and you've got a community of 900 families, right? You're organizing anything to engage the families and bring them together. The challenge is exactly that, to say you're dealing with diverse interests and varied interests, so you need to balance the requirements of the community and know your community and know the audience.
Right.
You need to balance the fact that suddenly March is a no-go period because it's exam season.
Right.
But that's for one set of kids who are in one type of school and one academic program. For the other, it's April and May. So you're suddenly dealing with just a varied set of requirements. So yes, it's an aspirational Indian family where both parents are working.
Right.
There's no time. They want to give the best to their children. And that's actually the opportunity, right? That you've got people who want to absolutely give their children the best opportunity, and like our vision is, right, to help them soar and help the children grow.
Right.
And they want to give them the absolute best. They want to give them what they've not had.
Right.
So I think that's been the opportunity. In terms of, if I was to think about what I've really taken away, and where my focus has really been, and it's actually been inspired by our relationship, has been, and I remember this, I don't know if you remember it, I had a sports day in school. I was probably 5. Yeah, I think I was 5 or 6.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit older, actually. And we were outside the old apartment building that we used to be in. And we practiced. That so we had that big field.
Yes.
If you remember. And I had to run across the field and get onto the bicycle, and you would cycle back with me.
Right.
And I just have such a vivid recollection of us being downstairs. You'd come home from work and us practicing this. And I took that away to say that forget everything else as a child. What you will remember growing up and what you will remember as an adult are those relationships. Is that parent-child bond, and is that parent-child bond strong enough? So what we've tried to do, and what I've actually tried very actively to do, is to take away the operational hassles of parenting.
Okay.
Into making it an opportunity that the limited time that parent has can actually be focused on the parent-child bond.
Wow.
So very recently we did a sports day, and I actually included the cycle race.
Really?
Because I was like, you know what, that's actually something that if these children are practicing, there's a community, there's the parent-child, there's so many different angles that come into play for them.
Yeah.
That I think that's where the world is heading, that's where the country is heading, that's where real estate is heading, and I think that's where child-centric should head.
Wow. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that you did the
we included that.
That's that the cycle
Yeah.
game came from there. That's amazing. I didn't remember that. I do remember it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember
But
it
it
now.
leaves such a lasting impact,
It
right?
does.
And you bring that
does.
into someone else's life.
Yeah,
It's a huge opportunity.
yeah.
So
And that's where family business, and now bringing that into the business.
yeah, all just intermesh
all
and somehow interweave.
intermeshes and
Yeah.
does that.